Hey guys, this is Magical Lady Duchess, and today I'm going to be talking about why can't I let love in? Um, I get so many times. I get so many clients who want me to help them to understand why the relationship isn't working, why didn't it work with that person, or whatever the case may be. So a lot of times the problem is not the other person that they're wanting love work on. Sometimes the problem is them. Why can I let go? What are those barricades to vulnerability? I thought it was important to do this video for one or two reasons. The first one is a lot of times, especially for Black women, it is hard for us to let love in because we've given so much to other people and they have destroyed us. They have destroyed who we are as a person. They have destroyed who we are on the inside. We are sad to say, sometimes we a piece of work. And it's because we've let all the wrong people in. So when the right people come in, we really don't know how to accept it or receive that because of all the things that we've been through. So I'm doing this video to kind of help you guys and to help myself as well. My problem is I have a hard time connecting to women. I don't know if you guys do that, but I do. And I'm always very transparent in my videos because I want you to learn something and I want you to be better than me. Okay? My assistant just made me some tea. I ain't had a cycle since June and I started one. Y'all know what time it is. Get your specimen cups out. But anyway, but not for real, get your specimen cup when you get your cycle. You do blood work, with your money and a little love work, whatever. But anyway, so I'm cramping today, so too. But anyway, drinking me some tea, trying to get it together, snap it on together. So I'm gonna start with the video about that. So a lot of times, I find it's hard for me to connect to women because I've been through so much. Being given away has always been a major thing for me. Being given away, my mother that raised me always treated me like shit, to me when I got like a certain age because I wasn't her biological daughter. I was a product of him cheating. Yeah. So, but she raised me. She did the best thing she could, and I was, adopted within family. You guys know the story with that. So, as growing up, I always had a hard time really connecting, so to speak, to women because I always found that, especially when I got into church, anytime it was like a woman of God or a woman of faith or something like that, I gravitated to them because of their energy and their power. They either used me for my energy or my power, or they dogged me out, or they were jealous. Either way, it was never no good. It wasn't good. And so it really made me self-conscious about everything. Sad to say, I have two sisters biologically, and neither one of them really, on and off, didn't have anything to do with me because they let jealousy of what they thought my life was, as an adult in comparison to what it really was. I mean, who knows, right? And so, with that being said, it really teaches you not to trust women of God. Thank you, baby. Women of God and women of faith and stuff like that because they just close the door, baby. Because they just don't do the right things. I'll thank you because they don't do the right things all the time. I could tell you, I just love this woman pastor that I was up under her leadership, and she had me over the financial ministry. You want to know why? Because I'm a manifester. Of course. You saw that in me and you used me. I just have always had those problems with women of faith, and it never fully connected. So when I got in a position to be in leadership and people looked up to me, I never wanted to disappoint them at all because I understood how they felt. Now, I I get that some of my methods of talking to people might be a little rougher than some, my eyelash, might be a little rougher than some, but it comes with good and well intentions. Very good and well intentions. I never would want to hurt anybody because I know how they feel to put your trust and faith in somebody and they disappoint you. Now, the human side to that is nobody's perfect. Of course, people are going to make mistakes, blah, 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 blah. But it's never my intention to do so. People come into your life, for a season, reason, and lifetime. It is what it is. But I just thought that I would do this video to kind of help. I never dismiss people pretty much. I won't unless you just really do some shit. I'm still a little swollen. Anyway, most people seek relationships for truth and like a lasting type of love. They want to find a special person who they'll meet with their deepest expectations while loving them equally in return. When they try over and over again and can't seem to find what they're looking for, they continue to work on self-improvement and try harder to understand the moving earthquake that is dating around the playing field. On the other end of that rainbow, there are people who seem to find partners who easily want to commit to them in relationships and everything else. They don't have to seem to try very hard to attract the people that they want. We usually think of them as the beautiful people, whom everyone agrees is valuable. In fact, most of them are typical people in many ways. However, they do some uniquely observable personality characteristics and behaviors that kind of set them apart. They also always come across as independent, contained, confident, and unneedy. Sometimes their outward behavior is accurate representation of who they are. They may be like the lucky subset of humanity that just has been born lucky to have these attributes and blah, 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 blah. But there are other people who are a little bit taxied who didn't have it like that, which people like me, I don't have it like that. I always try to represent and be even the thing that I don't have, and that's always love. Not saying I don't have love now, because I do, but I had to manifest it. That comes with like the law of attraction. That comes with like your energy. I want to say this so badly because you wonder why you're not able to attract love. You have to be love, and then you have to love with no type of reservation and free. That's not easy to do when you have been through so much, right? What causes people who seem to be able to attract love to be so unable to take it in? What are some of the underlying reasons for that behavior? What are some underlying reasons that they turn away from the safe emotional havens and genuinely offer security for things that are, are relationships that are not so good for them? So I came up with like a little list to talk about real briefly on why that this exists and possibly what you could do to change it. The first thing is childhood trauma. The can't let love in speaks, right? I want so much to trust that love is not going to cost me in the long run. I grew up with a father who loved me to death when he was sober, right? But acted a fucking fool when he was drunk. I tried to anticipate when it would be safe to get close to him. My mom, in retrospect of that, because she wanted him to stay at home, he never would stay at home. He never would be. She deflected that onto the kids instead of dealing with him. There's always two sides of things. I tell people all the time, you can't control how you grew up because you was a child and your parents were responsible for taking care of you, right? But as an adult, you make the decision that you're not going to hold on to those childhood traumas. You cannot and live successfully. You have to let that shit go. So what I say is, I think I always wanted approval from my mother. I always wanted her to accept me. But the thing is, it was not on me. It was on her. And I had to learn that she loved me the best way she knew how. A lot of times it happens, guys. We have these terrible relationships with our mom and our dads. We don't understand that we deflect them onto people. And the way we feel about ourselves, the way we think that our parents felt about us is how we deflect it onto others. So that's just something to think about. You know, when children are raised in environments where love is like dramatically paired with fear or punishment, they have only two choices. The first is to tolerate the pain in order to get the love that goes with it, and the second is to run from the pain and go without love. Initially, these children are immobilized like a deer in headlights, and they hope that things will resolve. But over in time, they learn to attract love, but then run before the uneventable damage occurs. They can't face the price of the potentially negative surprise. That was me. Run, 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 run. These children actually grow into adults who expect that love will eventually become painful. Though they may rationally believe that the right to love can trumpet over negative heartbreak, their triggers are deep and their reactions are not always rational. They are careful from the start, giving the secure love they were denied as a child, but a shadow of fear hovers underneath, just waiting for the expected negativity to emerge. In intimate relationships, they test their partners repeatedly, and eventually many fall away disconnected. The partner's feelings about that is, I think I'm doing everything to make him or her feel loved and cared for, but just when I'm about gaining ground, he or she finds one thing I did wrong and sees it as a hidden agenda to rip him off or her off. Sometimes he tells me he never felt so loved and accepted, and that's what keeps him going. Then he turns on me and saying, this is frustrating. I don't know how much more I can give and never be trusted. I just want you guys to realize the flip side to this. The next thing is pairing trust with expectations of being controlled. I'd love to trust a lover just to care for me without needing to control my every thought and action, right? I found that the less you tell someone what you need, the less information they have to control you. That's how a lot of y'all are. I know I'm staying inside my shell. I'm probably missing some possible closeness, but I guess I'd rather be alone than to let someone know who I really am. Every time I let a partner in and they really see me, what really makes me happy or sad is that he or she will later use that against me when he wants something that I can't give. I can't risk that potential for emotional blackmail. It's just easier for me to stay unknown. This is what a lot of people think. This is what a lot of people do. People who need very little from intimate partners tend to attract lovers who are drawn to their mysteriousness of like emotional unavailability. They got issues too, because they chasing somebody that they potentially cannot have. When whatever they do or say doesn't seem to get through, they either leave the relationship or double the efforts to get in. If they do earn that can't let go in the partner's trust and gain access to the sacred interior, they usually want to leave a mark of some type of meaningful way, not realizing that their behavior can be perceived as the ultimate betrayal. Whew. The fear of being controlled is often compared with the expectation of being absorbed into another person's being. Intimate partners who slip out of the emotional reach when their lovers gain too much access to their vulnerability often believe that they will be ultimately erased by their partner's ability to dominate them. Some people cannot live without being controlled. Some people, like me, you got to be transparent. I feel like if I let people in, all they're going to do is take advantage of that control, so to speak, that I'm giving them, and then they will try to take advantage of me. You got to find your balance, and you got to let that shit go too. The fear of being controlled. Love is an emotion that you are supposed to freely give, regardless of if it's given to you in the manner upon which you've given it to someone. Think about that. My next one is the fear of being trapped by obligation. I like to be the giver in the relationship. That way I never owe anyone anything. I feel like running whenever anyone tries to make me feel like I'm obligated to do something or to feel something I don't want to do. I hate it when my partner thinks that he has given so much and now it's my turn to sacrifice for him. And I haven't even asked what he has given. This happens a lot. It's that I've done so much for you. Why you ain't doing nothing for me? In a relationship, you have to give because it's what you want to do from your heart. And if you give it from your heart, there's never a question of obligation. Stop looking at love as an emotional, like, credit card. Like, it just feels good at the time, but just wait until it's full. Maybe it's better just to let the debts build up. That's how I kind of used to look at stuff. That way I can get out without feeling emotionally guilty about something. That's not how love works. Some people are so fearful of being trapped by owing too much that they will let their own partners give more than they easily can return. Whatever caring or gifts their partners offer them, they have to top them. Whatever kindness the partners extends, they best them by finding out more ways to care. This is something that I'm really guilty of, so this is something that I know I have to work on. They always want to make absolutely sure that their partners are the ones who get more out of it than they do. That way, I'm never feeling trapped. But the thing is, I'm trapping myself. And what it does to your partner is it makes them feel like this person is impossible to please. When I get him or her favorite shirt, he has already told me he's had enough of them. When I make his favorite meal, he tells me that he'd rather go out to dinner. And then he eats what I made for him, the leftover, over the next night. Or he never lets me feel like what I give is really important, even though he seems to really enjoy it at that time. I feel like I'm a fair person, and I know I've never taken advantage of him or her, but him or her make them feel like I'm not out to get anything, no matter what, how much I try to show them. It's just I'm not getting it. I feel like on the other end of an escape artist. That's how the partner feels in that situation. I can never make her happy. I can never make him happy. No matter what I do, she always finds fault. It's tough, I know. The next one is scared of losing themselves in a relationship. Whew. Again, this is me. It's like people who have their boundaries violated as children or like in prior relationships, they kind of live within a strong fortress around them. Like they do that. Like the partners they've had in the past have used knowledge of their needs and vulnerabilities to try to change them. They feel that the only way they are safe is to never let a partner know what they are deeply feeling on the inside, because once he or she is in, it will no longer be sacred. They'll no longer be sacred. Deep inside, they might desperately want to be cared for and loved and to be known and be safe and be secure. But because that has never happened, they have increased their trust that it will never happen, or that it never can or never could. And every time they let their partners in too far, they feel as though they've been taken over and never again being able to fully trust themselves. This is what a lot of you guys are going through right now. As a result, to protect themselves, they unwittingly seduce their partners into try to get inside of their heads and hearts, and then unconsciously sabotage the whole goddamn process. Love, evasion, and erasing are all the same experiences to people who feel that their partners try too hard to know them, perceiving any offerings of commitment as a ruse to take away their freedom and mold their experience. Your partner's fear in that is, I'm crazy about this woman, but I feel like she sucks me in and then spits me out. She sees every affectionate gesture as if I'm trying to break into some secret stash and steal this shit away. I can't make her understand that I love her exactly the way she is. This is what's wrong with a lot of black women. You bitches, you ladies have been hurt a lot. And you finally meet the guy that is like this great guy, he good, and he taking care of your motherfucking kids, and your kids bad and disrespectful as fuck, and you can't barely do nothing with them and shit. And then y'all know how y'all ass be doing. Then you call him weak, and you don't want to fuck with him. So you gonna get with Jim Bob over there, or Tyrell, or some shit like that, whatever, or Jesus, I'm trying to get all of them. Or Patel, because everybody watch me, so I'm trying to hit all the corners. And so you get with him, and he don't want shit. He don't like your motherfucking kids. He barely even like your ass. But you'll leave the other dude that was nice and kind and fighting to be with you to try with this nigga. I had one client, and I know she watches me. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you business. I ain't gonna tell you name though. She called me for a reading, and she wants me now to fix the relationship with the Caribbean guy that really did like her for a preacher. They got 9 members in his motherfucking church. She paying for this nigga to go everywhere. And when I say nigga, I mean a man. She paying for this nigga to go everywhere, travel, $20,000 in. She said, I just thought that God was trying to show me that was my husband. Now you're calling me because you want the Caribbean, because he was really a nice guy and he was going to respect you and love you. And he didn't want nothing but some pussy from you. And he was going to pay some of your bills and stuff too. I'm just saying that's what I had seen when I did the reading. That he was going to really, be there for you. But you got with Pastor Ignorant, you know what I'm saying? He don't know shit. He got 9 fucking members. Been talking about he been a pastor for 15 years with 9 members. Then you told me that you was celibate for 15 years. But you talking to the pastor, he trying to fuck on the first night. Girl. Y'all be doing the fucking most. Anyway. Y'all cut that shit out. Okay, so the next one. This is true. It's true stories. I'm not making this up. So the next one is acting like they don't need love so they don't get taken advantage of again. I have a very kind and dear sister. I love her. She runs away from love as if it's a case of AIDS that has her name on it, and as long as she run and don't move, she won't get infected with it. Now, she's probably one of the sweetest people I've ever met, and her heart is like the sweetest. However, hurt from growing up, bad relationship with mom, bad relationship with men, all that shit piled on top of each other. You kind of get the feeling of, fuck this shit. I've had enough. So what she does is you act like she don't need no love, just so she won't get taken advantage of again. But if you learn and deal with your roots, you won't get taken advantage of, because you will see the signs and you will know what to do to address them, magically or not. Women like guys who don't need them. Let me say this again. Women like guys who don't need them. That's crazy, because you are supposed to need and love each other. People who have loved repeatedly, then have been abandoned in prior relationships, learn to give up attachment to anything that is threatened. They may give a great deal of love and commitment to their partners, but will intentionally not ask for anything in return. Midnight. Sometimes they actually turn away gifts that they really want just to prove that they don't need them. Do not ever minimize yourself for the sake of trying to build somebody else up. Who told you that your love was not worth the person that you're loving? Who said that his or her love was better than yours? It's not. Cut that bullshit out. Sometimes these people have learned to steal love, meaning they act as if their partners offer matters that much, but secretly inside their own hearts, they are keeping what they are getting in a secret storing place. They don't let their partners know how much they want and depend on what they're getting, because they want it to keep coming without acknowledging that it's happening. Outwardly, they can act quite blasé, when inwardly they are really enjoying the gifts. Stop being that woman. Stop being that man. The way your partner feels about that is, I know deep inside he or she wants me to love them, but they acting like it's no big deal. He or she even lets me indulge in things when I know he or she needs them, but they would never tell me that they appreciate it. That makes him feel unappreciated, when in fact, he love you too, or she love you too. Y'all cut this shit out. And then call me, can you fix it? I ain't fuck it up. Get on my nerves. If a person cannot let you love in, you can change your responses. Y'all know that. The first step is to recognize what you are doing and understand how you gave up your right to take love in. The second thing is to share those underlying reasons and desire to change the role you are playing with your current partner if you are in a relationship. The third is to gently challenge those old behaviors as you observe them happening, choosing instead to observe how you are feeling as they occur and choosing to take a more transforming path. As your interactions become more authentic because you're being more honest and truthful, you will feel the joy of living your life without the need to protect yourself by keeping love away. I know that this was a long video. I just want to address why a lot of times your relationships will fail. And 99.9% of the time, the reason why they fail is because of you. I am Magical Lady Duchess. You can go onto my website at www.magicalladyduchess.com. That's MAGICKAL. You can also email me at magicalladyduchess@gmail.com. Listen, I want the love to work, but y'all have to remember that love starts with you. Deal with your stuff too. It's unpredictable behavior, not trusting. You gotta work on it. And somebody calling me. Bye.